activist, campaigner for women's rights and women's voices in the political system, former Congresswoman Bella Abzug.
Good afternoon, fighters for liberty and justice. We all of us have fought for the right to assemble and to express our views. We're doing that today. And some other people are doing that over there today as well, and they have that right. But what I object to is this sanctimonious notion that because they are forming a cross, that they have a right to speak for the people who are believers of the cross. They do not have that right. I believe that that symbol is sacrilegious, and I believe that it denies the fundamental right to religion and freedom to worship as people feel. It not only does that, I believe it is intended, and their activities today have been intended to incite violence, and I suggest that that is not protected under the right to peaceably assemble or the right to the First Amendment. But truly what we talk about here today, what we talk about every day in our struggle for liberty and freedom and peace and justice is the right of the Constitution and the right to defend the Constitution for all people. We are here today in we state our insistence that the right of choice is the right of everybody to exercise their fundamental constitutional rights under the First and the Fifth and the 14th Amendments. As we gather here, we have to realize that fundamental rights of Americans are being denied by those in political power in Washington today, not only in terms of our right to decide whether or not to have children, but our right to decent housing, our right to decent national health care, our rights to unemployment insurance, our rights to decide what religion we wish to choose, our right to decide what kind of sexual preference we have, our right to decide what kind of life we wish to lead. The attack upon the majority of the people in this country is indeed an attack upon not only women who are a majority, but upon the right of choice and the right of privacy of men and women everywhere. The last decision of the Supreme Court made clear where this administration and its spokespersons are going. They are seeking, as was said by two speakers before this, to exercise maximum control over the rights of all people. They are seeking to take away the right of speech. They are seeking to take away the right of association, and they are seeking to take away the rights of privilege between doctors and women and those who need and seek advice. To think that we in the United States of America, who have built a nation fundamentally upon a search for fundamental justice and freedom and liberty, should reach the stage in which a woman cannot be told what is necessary to save her life is unacceptable. That the richest country in the world should provide health care for all women and all men and all children. We will not be scared. We will not be scared in our determination and our right to say that we need an administration that cares for the people, not for those at the top of the economic level, without regard to the homelessness, without regard to the illnesses, without regard to the lack of education, without regard to the fundamental needs that every human being in society is entitled to as a matter of right. of rights. We're here today to say that no demonstration, be they use the cross or the stars or their violence, is going to stop the fact that we are the defenders of the Constitution. We not only will defend its rights, but we intend to expand its rights. We have to stop being on the defensive. We have to insist that we, the people, can change this society if it is not responsive to the people, and indeed it has not been responsive to the people. So from here, as we march, and as we gather, and as we peaceably assemble, we have to recognize that we have to maximize our strength, that we have to use our power in whatever form we believe in. Whether it's through this kind of direct action, whether it's through action at the polls, we have to make our voices heard. Carol Greitz has made a very important point. Washington is beginning to respond to you, the people. Washington is, after all, just as Albany, just as City Hall, is there by reason of our agreement or disagreement. And therefore we have to build our forces. We have to stop withdrawing, as many have, from the political arena and say we'll make this political arena ours. The only way we can make it ours is by participating in it, by building whatever kind of coalitions that are necessary to build, whatever kind of political parties that are necessary to add. Whatever we can do, we must do to change the direction of this country. We have seen the effort made by people who have less freedom than us to attempt to create. I don't know how much change they were to create, but in any case they are attempting to create change. Here we are free to create change, and we're not doing it enough. And we have to make sure that we take the reins of the direction of society and the course of history and the course of government and influence it. We have to see to it that those who are denying our rights are thrown out of power. And we have to substitute our voices and our power in their stead. We can do it. We're a small group, but there are small groups like this all over the country, which means that makes us a majority. And we have to use that majority to throw out the minority that is attempting to control our lives. We are the people, and we will not let them do it. Yes, we have this current choice, but we have to take the leadership of New York and see that it goes around all over this country. This is a presidential year. Don't miss the vote. Work in it and press everyone in that process to stand out firmly for the Constitution and the fundamental rights that the Constitution provides, and especially the right of choice. The right to decide whether or not to have children, the right to decide the way in which we want to live, what preference we have, the right to insist that having a home is a fundamental right, just as the First Amendment is, having food, having shelter, having education, having health care. Those are fundamental rights. This is what is involved in our effort. While they on that street on Fifth Avenue are seeking to turn back the clock, we will not let them. No matter what happens, we shall go forward.
Our next speaker is Reverend from Abzug United Methodist Church. Reverend Maya Quinlan is also a member of the Religious Coalition on Abortion Rights. Reverend Maya Quinlan.
They asked me did I want to stay down there, and I said I'd never had the opportunity to stand on top of a table before and speak, so here I am. I stand on behalf of the Religious Coalition